We're bringing you developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Stoycon. I'm Patrick Paez.
And I'm Lingao. Some stories we're watching this Monday, April 22. The biggest Balikatan exercises between the Philippines and the United States kick off today. 16,700 troops are expected to join the military drills with observers from 14 countries. On the eve of the exercise, 2 Chinese maritime militia ships were sighted some 30 nautical miles from Palawan. Tuguegarao Mayor Myla Rosario Tingke criticizes what she calls racial profiling. This is over the supposed rising number of Chinese students in Cagayan province. For her part, Teresita Angsi of the Movement for the Restoration of Peace and Order also slammed politicians and media outfits for what we quote as deliberate fanning of xenophobia and racism. And VP Sara Duterte shrugs off First Lady Liza Marcos's quote, personal feelings. Duterte says these have nothing to do with their mandate as VP. She adds she will privately discuss the matter with President Bongbong Marcos.
Mga kababayan, bilang tao, karapatan ni unang ginang Liza Marcos na makaramdam ng sama ng loob at galit. Subalit, ang kanyang personal na damdamin ay walang kinalaman sa aking mandato bilang isang opisyal ng pamahalaan. Upang makausad tayo, iiwan na natin sa isang pribadong pag-uusap sa pagitan lamang namin ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. ang mga susunod na hakbang. Dapat ay nakatutok tayo sa pagtugon sa mga suliraning hinaharap ng ating bansa. Patuloy ang pagtaas ng presyo ng pagkain at iba pang mga bilihin. At ito ay mas nagpapahirap pa sa dinaranas na gutom o kawalan ng sapat na pagkain ng mahihirap nating kababayan. Nagbabadya rin ang kakulangan ng supply ng tubig at kuryente, habang talamak na naman ang ipinagbabawal na droga. Samantala, hindi pa rin natatapos ang banta ng kriminalidad, terorismo at insurhensiya sa ating bansa. Kini ang mga butang na angay natong hatagan ug pagtagad. Unahin natin ang Pilipinas. Syukran.
Okay.
The last lines translates to these are the things, these are the urgent things we must put our attention to. Yung Bisayan line na yun. Okay. Now also joining the Storycon today is Philippine Star Editor-in-Chief Ana Marie Pamintuan, and we have today with us is One News host Gretchen Ho. She's here with us right now today because Gretchen, you just came from Batanes.
Yes.
We sat you here to tell us what's happening there. Maybe we'll get to that in a while.
Akala ko dahil birthday siya.
Oo nga, nagpaalam ka na may sakit ka, birthday mo.
Tapos
Ayun pala, nasa Batanes ka lang.
Napunta ako sa Batanes.
Yun.
Alam mo naman, actually breather sana yon, pero biglang may natuhog tayong
Hindi yun ang point ko. Akala ko
storya.
nandito ka dahil birthday mo, tapos papakain ka.
Hindi, baliktad. Ako maniningil.
Okay, we have some developing news coming out of Villamor Air Base or the airport area. I think we have some videos that we can run today about a fire at the parking lot there. Can
But
we
I
see
think
that
it's
video?
the Terminal 3 parking extension. Okay. The MIAA Rescue and Firefighting Division declared fire out at 1:57 p.m. and currently investigating the extent of damage and cause of the fire in the area. 11 ata na sasakyan ang nasunog.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
and hindi rin clear kung anong source ng fire. Some say baka raw grass fire because of the heat. Of course, that's speculation. But
Okay.
it's an empty. It's a grassy area.
It's a grassy area. You can't help but with the heat that we're experiencing, you can't help but people speculating that nasunog dahil sa init. But we don't know for sure what caused the fire. But the fire affected 9 cars. How many cars?
19.
19 cars.
So, mamalasing lang talaga.
Parked in an open area.
If I
grassy
recall
open area.
right, while you go up the ramp of Terminal 3, to your right is an open grassy area that's parang limited parking
Okay.
Special parking. Hindi public parking. Pero you see vehicles parked there.
Okay.
And it's grassy, hindi siya simentado
grassy.
gaya ng parking area sa
Yes.
kaliwa.
So ito yung area na yon.
I think so. Yeah,
That's a
maganda.
bit of useful information to point out that it's on a grassy area. Kasi ang initial reaction ng mga tao, no, parang sa init nito, nasunog yung kotse. Hindi naman siguro posible yung ganun, Bob.
Hindi naman. And normally, hindi naman yan mag-combust by itself eh.
On its
although, Yeah, although it's possible it's because of it's so hot, the grass is so dry.
Yes.
And it's easier
That-
for it to
combust.
But it's not usually it's not spontaneous combustion.
Right. It's not the car that will fry. Or
Pwede ba yung
because of
mag-spark
the
na
heat.
lang? Dahil sa
No,
init? Hindi.
mas mainit yung combustion engine mo eh.
Sabagay, totoo nga naman.
So, yun, something to watch out for. But anyway, fire out na siya. Yun lang. Kung mamalasing ka, kasama ka sa living shop.
That's a lot of cars. Anyway, Ami, what's on the front page layout of the Philippine Star for tomorrow?
Hi, happy Monday, Patrick and at Gretchen.
Happy weekend.
Pare-pareho tayong binabantayan and ang report ng NAIA reporter namin, it's a grass fire nga at nagpadala na daw ng mga maliliit yatang fire truck yung MIAA management dun sa iba pa nilang parking lot. Kasi yan na nga, dahil sa sobrang init kaya mag-iingat kayo pag parking nyo ng mga kotse nyo ngayong
Yan, oo.
kainitan, ano? Saka may warning nga ang DOH na so far they have recorded dahil dito sa heat wave. 34 illnesses related to the heat wave and 6 deaths. Ha? May namatay na 6. Related lang naman, not directly ano, pero usually yung mga medyo may problema sa blood pressure yata naapektuhan eh. And of course we're still trying to in-interpret pa namin yung message ni Sara Duterte na what she means exactly kasi tinatanong lang naman ng mga tao. In fact, yun ang sinasabi ngayon ng ibang congressmen, mag-resign ka na. Hanggang ngayon, yun pa rin ang message sa kanya. Eh, if she's saying na I have a mandate at walang kinalaman doon yung statement ni First Lady, baka yun ang insinuation na I'm not resigning. Pero we're waiting kung anong kalalabasan ng usapan nila ni the private conversation with President Marcos. And in the meantime, si First Lady, nagpo-post ng curiously, karamihan sa mga pinopost na mga stories and pictures puro tungkol sa showing na how close the first couple are, no? Yung nagsumasayaw before the meeting with the Emir of Qatar.
Eating
Saka
Jollibee
yun na,
together.
nag-dinner sa Jollibee. yung mga ganon. Although siguro related dun sa 31st wedding anniversary nila. So yan ang mga binabantayan natin this afternoon.
Well, totoo naman. Kung natawa man siya dun sa sa sinabi ng kanyang tatay, hindi naman yan siguro cause for resignation. In the same way na natawa si BBM nung tinanong siya.
In Australia.
In Australia, di ba?
Oo. I think hindi naiintindihan ng ibang tao na ang Pilipino, pag kinakaba,
Nervous laughter.
natatawa. It's something I think other cultures don't understand about us Filipinos. Yun ang reaction natin, natatawa eh. Diba?
Yan yung nangyari dun sa Australia, di ba? Yung interview ni President Marcos
Why are you laughing?
with
Oh, why are
Australian
you laughing?
nervous laughter.
Kinabahan siya doon sa tanong kasi hindi niya ata inasahan.
Yeah.
So, imbis na magalit, natawa na lang, ganun. Yun.
Doon sa isang
Talaga.
aspect naman, yung sa sunog sa Terminal 3 parking lot, it does make you wonder though, it's a secure facility, it has its own fire brigade, it's a specialized area, yet umabot sa puntong 11 na sunog bago mapula.
Kaya nga,
Could it be
Pero
it
ganun
was that
kalakas,
fast?
di ba?
Bob?
Ang mga,
I don't know.
Actually, mga brush fire, ganun, di ba? Ganun talaga kalakas to mag-spread. If it's so dry, matapunan lang yan ng sigarilyo, yung upos ng sigarilyo. Magliliyab na yan eh. And then sama-sama na. Kaya lang yun na nga, nakakagulat siguro. Walang tao dun sa parking lot eh. Kaya ang bilis-bilis kumalat. So mag-ingat-ingat lang lahat ng merong mga may kotse, may mga nakaparking na jeep. Siguro kung may nagtutulo doon ng mga gasolina, di ba, mas madali eh.
I guess it's a reminder to all of us, lalo na sa public, ganun ka-dry yung season natin, itong El Nino na to. Kasi I understand, even in summer, the ground is not really that dry. I mean, where we live in the tropics, the
Yeah.
humidity is still there, even in summer, even in the dry season. Pero in this El Nino, it's really so dry.
weird weather patterns. Oh, di ba? It's not hindi lang ibig sabihin na it's gonna be dry, but yung typhoon medyo erratic kung kailan darating yung ulan, kung kailan medyo mas unpredictable. Pero yun nga, sabi ko nga, nagrereklamo sa Batanes, sabi ko, ang init. Tapos sabi, nako, buti na may hangin-hangin pa dito. Sa Manila, wala. Talagang oven.
Okay, speaking about Batanes, see, we will be having the, we will be having the spokesman of the Balikatan later here in the story conference. But we brought in Gretchen because she happened to have spent the weekend with AFP officers.
With the Air Force, actually.
With the Air Force in Batanes, and they were checking out the place for possible...
Ayun, medyo
yan.
actually, sumabit lang talaga ako doon sa trip nga to Batanes for a Makati Medical Foundation charity work. We were supposed to donate wheelchairs and bicycles. Yun nga lang, no? Ito si General Estrella ng Air Force. Sinama ako doon, papuntang Mabulis. And I was with...
It's at the very tip, no? It's not on the main part of Batanes.
It is the northernmost part of the country.
Northernmost island?
It is the northernmost, the last frontier of the
frontier.
Philippines. Before we get to Taiwan,
Okay.
it's actually 98 kilometers away from Taiwan.
Okay.
So mas malapit siya doon kaysa sa northern Luzon. And yan yung border natin in front of the Bashi Channel. So Orchid Island for Taiwan, Mabulis naman for the Philippines. I was with 8 to 9 generals from the Air Force. And they were there to survey a new helipad that they are planning to build. Actually, nakakagulat kasi kung titingnan mo, meron ng 2 helipad doon. Bakit isa pa?
For such a small place?
Yes, sabi ko, baka kasi mahirap i-access yung lugar. Meron siyang certain maneuver required by the, we were riding the Black Hawk helicopter to be able to land there. Pero kung makikita mo, hindi naman yun yung pinaka-immediate need. Nagtatanong ako, sabi ko, is it because of access? Medyo mas mataas sa bundok, actually sinend ko yan kay Jan, mas mataas sa bundok in a grassy area where they're planning to build the helipad. And ang sabi sa akin, it's for, to get ready for more troops to come in. So it's not necessarily easier access, but yun ang banggit sa akin. Kumbaga, tactically, this is sound for our armed forces. It
has been reported and announced, Gretchen, Ed and Ami, that the U.S. is actually eyeing a presence in this part of the Philippines, in the Batanes area. So maybe this expansion or upgrading of helipad facilities, and I understand also a seaport is in connection with, in preparation for U.S. presence in this
there was a report back in August of 2023 that the U.S. military is in talks with local government to fund a civilian port in Batanes. The identified area is Basco, but they also told me that the U.S. They surveyed this area, yung Mabulis. Hindi ko alam kung who will be funding the port improvements, but they also plan to improve the port in Mabulis to be able to have these ships come in and bring heavy construction materials.
Okay, this is definitely not for trade, Gretchen, because I understand. Batanes lang, konti na yung population, negative growth gathering yung population. Ito, what more, Mabulis?
Mabulis has no population.
There you go,
It's
no
an inhabited
population.
except for 16
So whatever facilities are being built there it's for military purposes.
It's for military. Actually, it's to build a at least credible naval site for our military men. Kasi actually doon, yung tubig pa lang, problema na. Yung desalination plant nila, sira since last year.
Okay.
So yung pagligo pa lang, hirap na yung mga sundalo. So kaya nga sabi ko, ano yung pa-prioritize mo dito? Yung tubig? Ba't nauna yung helipad? Yun yung niisip ko.
Well, I guess the helipad to bring in the materials.
What kind of materials?
For construction, for facilities that they will need to expand for.
Pwede. But they already have two.
You will need the port more kasi if I recall mga last year, 2 years ago, may mga video sa YouTube na yung for you to get to Mabulis, walang port talaga, tumatalon ka from the boat to the rocks habang yung boat gumagano sa
sobrang hirap makapunta dito via sea. Actually, doon sa Itbayat pa lang mahirap na. What more pa sa Mabulis, meron certain seasons of the year where it's ideal
Well, I
to
guess
approach
the helipad to bring in the people who will build
Oh,
the
baka pwede rin.
expanded
Oo,
port.
huwag tayo masyadong
Parang ganon,
mag-assume, di ba? Huwag tayo masyadong mag-assume. Pero yun nga,
Napakalakas ng ano dyan eh. Napakalakas ng ano dyan kasi na-stranded na kami dyan eh. Nung panahon ni Cory Aquino, we went to Batanes.
Basco yun,
Na-stranded yung Malacanang press corps. Magsara lang yung cloud cover dyan sa Batanes. And it was in Basco, not even yung mabulis na yan. Talagang napakahirap, napakalakas ng hangin, napakalakas ng halo,
Ay, halo sa
natanglit
channel.
nung dadaanan ng barko. Kaya we were forced to spend the night na yung BRP ang Pangulo noon na medyo bulok-bulok na noon. Kaya lang wala kami matirahan doon sa Batanes eh. Kaya alam namin na talagang mahirap siyang i-navigate siyang area na yan.
Tapos
Yung
grabe
tubig
yung
na yan.
alon sa channel, oh. Pag yung nakaupo ka
Yes.
sa mess hall, yung mga plato, hinahabol mo habang kumakain ka.
Yes. Nagsha-shower kami, humahabol kami ganun doon sa shower. Sa lakas ng ganun. Kaya ang dami-dami nag-throw up yung ibang mga reporter eh. Sa lakas talaga nung ano.
Pero
Kaya
in
medyo,
fairness,
siguro kailangan nga yan.
pero in fairness, meron silang beer.
Hindi ko natanong yun.
At one point ata, highest per capita consumption of beer, Batanes.
Hindi, Hinebra.
Hinebra.
Hinebra yun, Hinebra. Kasi mas magastos
Malamig kasi
Oo,
dati at least.
Mas magastos mag-import ng beer eh. Kasi Hinebra kasi tama ka.
Oo. Tsaka walang mabiling supply. Yung nabili namin dyan mga tuwalya, yung good morning, yung ganon.
Towel.
Yun ang
Galing
tuwalya
China.
namin.
pero meron silang Starlink.
Pang Lunes.
May internet sila. Tapos at some parts, meron ding smart.
Okay.
So Gretch, there's no
Okay.
civilian population or community in Mabulis.
There is no civilian population.
Everybody there is military.
CAFGU, Navy, Coast Guard.
So para saan yung bisikleta na dinala mo?
Hindi,
Para sa
hindi,
mga...
hindi. Yung bisikleta, yung hospital in a bike ng Makati Med, para yun sa Batanes, sa Basco. Hindi namin dinala dyan.
Okay.
Nagbasko muna sila.
Okay,
Tapos
Basco talaga kayo.
Kasi malayo.
Sumabit ka na lang dito. Side
Sumabit
trip
na lang
ito.
ako.
Kasi Bok, malayong mabulis sa Basco ito. Ito,
oo.
yan, yan.
Ayan.
Yan,
Pero,
yung mabulis sa taas, yung Basco
Gretchen, ang
sa
ganda
baba.
ng Basco, no?
Ito ang mabulis, ito yung Basco.
Oo,
Ang
medyo malayo. Ano po?
Malayo-layo siya. Gretchen, ang ganda ng Batanes, ano?
Ang ganda ng Batanes. Pero alam mo, kasi
Yes.
nag-ride kami ng chopper, di ba? Usually, lush green. Mukhang New Zealand yung itsura. Pero ngayon, it's
yes.
Dry.
semi-brown.
Why?
Because of the
ganon.
heat also.
Baka dahil sa init.
Dahil sa init. Kaya parang talaga makita
Yes.
mo eh. Iniisip ko paano magkakatubig yung mga mountains doon eh.
Okay, Gretch, tanaw na ba ang Taiwan?
Mula sa Mabulis.
Well, yeah, at least from the air before you landed. I mean,
Hindi ko
so
nakita eh.
just situate us in that place. Ganun. Hindi pa naman siguro.
Hindi pa naman. 98
Yeah,
kilometers.
98 kilometers.
Okay.
It's the distance from Manila to
Okay.
Pinatubok and Cabanatuan.
But I was made aware that there are bilateral exercises happening. Yung SICNAB ba yun? Salaknib. With the Philippine Coast Guard.
Navy.
And, Philippine Navy and then the US yata. Oo.
Baka si Colonel lang dyan
So, ito. Pero sa 27 pa magsisimula ang balikatan exercises. Sa Batanes, I think we have Colonel Mike Lohico who can better answer questions on that end.
Okay, let's bring in Colonel Mike Lohico, spokesperson of Balikatan 2024. Colonel, maraming salamat sa iyong oras.
Good afternoon. I would like to correction lang muna. I am not just the spokesperson of Balikatan. I am the executive agent of Balikatan.
Okay. Thank you for that, Colonel.
Thank you, Colonel.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll follow up on that. What is an executive agent for the Balikatan exercises?
Well, I'm the guy who makes things happen.
There you go. Okay. Kayo palang punong abala dyan. Maraming salamat sa oras nyo, Colonel. You must be very busy. But let me start with the first question. Colonel,
I am actually very busy.
Okay.
I have about 5 minutes and I'm off to another meeting.
Okay. First question, Colonel. Ito na, mabilis lang. Ano ang senaryo para sa Balikatan exercises this year? What's the war game scenario?
Well, the scenario for Balikatan, as it has been for previous Balikatan, is always external defense.
Okay, any more detail to that, Colonel? Usually, there was one Balikatan exercise when I understand the scenario was retaking an island from the enemy. In this year's exercises, is there anything with more details than
Yes,
that?
when we do an exercise, we normally approach it as vignettes. Ano? So there are
Right.
several events that are always related to external defense. We have maritime defense, so we're doing a group sail. We're doing a maritime strike. We're going to sink a decommissioned Philippine Navy vessel. So that is engaging a surface enemy. And we also have an integrated air and missile defense exercise also. So that takes also care of the air domain. All of these are connected to the comprehensive archipelagic defense concept that was announced by the Secretary of National Defense. Okay, so the idea is we are protecting our maritime interests within our exclusive economic zone using our combined efforts between the AFP and our treaty allies from US Indo-PACOM.
Sir,
Colonel, I asked you this last week, baka pwedeng ulitin ko and maybe you can answer me now. Will the exercises
Okay.
cover Ayungin Shoal? Ayungin Shoal, aabot ba doon? Colonel?
Because by answering that question, I would be required to tell you the route of the maritime exercise. I will just say that the exercise will be in between, outside of 12 nautical miles and within our exclusive economic zone, western side of Palawan.
western side of, sir, yung western side of Palawan, that's the area that China's also claiming.
South China Sea. Yes.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So,
lang,
sir,
ganun lang, okay.
kasama ba Batanes? Will you be, aabot ba kayo sa Batanes?
We will do some exercises in Batanes, ano. Limited lang because our survey limits the type of exercise we'll be doing there. So mostly it will be a form of an island retaking exercise. May mga military freefall at saka air assault.
Yes, sir. Sir, yung SINCEX, I think that's the culmination of the exercise. China's apparently making an issue out of the selection of Lake Caliraya, BRP Lake Caliraya, as the target for the missiles or the sinking because it's made in China. It's our only ship that was made in China with the Philippine Navy, at least before it was decommissioned. How do you respond to that?
Actually, it was only a few days ago that we found out that it was made in China. It was a coincidence or synchronicity.
Synchronicity.
Honestly,
yes, sir.
hindi namin alam
Yes, sir.
na made in China pala yan.
Yes, sir.
It just so happened that among all of the vessels that we checked, it is the one that was still floating, and it was the right size for us to do our exercise.
In other words, the selection is not a message in itself. The selection of the vessel is not a message.
Well,
Bingo.
kayo na po bahala gumawa ng messaging.
Ayun, okay.
Ako, trabaho ko lang mag-select ng vessel.
Kala namin, Colonel, sasabihin mo ulit bingo eh. Anyway, Colonel, you mentioned missile defense exercises. Will this missile defense exercise also involve the Typhoon missile launcher system, the new Brahmas, which are supposedly on their way, if not they've already arrived?
I'm sorry, but the SM-6, we have no immediate plans on firing it. The air and missile defense exercise is different. It is to defend us against a missile.
Okay.
So, sir, yung SM-6, the Typhoon system, is that going to be part of Balikatan? Kasi I understand it was part of Salaknib, but I'm not sure if it carries over to Balikatan.
Actually, it's really part of Balikatan.
Okay.
Okay.
Salaknib, it was not in the plan of Salaknib. I have a theory kung bakit in-announce na Salaknib, ano?
Okay.
It was not us who announced it, but it was USARPAC.
Yes, sir.
USARPAC was the one who announced it's part of Salaknib.
Okay.
Kaya syempre, pag binanggit nila na Balikatan yan, then they will credit it to a Balikatan exercise. But USARPAC is the need in Salaknib. So, they probably, ito lang ang naisip ko, they mentioned Salaknib because they are in control of Salaknib. But it was always part of Balikatan.
Yes, sir. But the typhoon system will be part of the exercises, but it will not be fired or it will not be launched in the exercises.
From my discussion with our counterparts from USA Topecom, we have no immediate plans to fire it.
So, medyo magastos sa tayo.
Colonel, can you give us now more details about the participation of France in Balikatan? First time kasi.
Well, the participation of France has not changed. They will be sending a French frigate. And I'm sorry, but I know the name of the French frigate pero nahirapan akong i-pronounce.
Yun, okay.
Colonel, alam po natin, you've mentioned the joint sail to the West Philippine Sea. How about the northern part of the Philippines, doon po sa may Batanes, sa Mabulis area? What scenarios are you going to prepare for or you're going to practice for?
Well, I already mentioned this. We're preparing for external defense, the comprehensive archipelagic defense concept. I don't know what other details I can add to that. Let's put it in layman's terms. Another country wants to attack us and we defend. I don't know how else to explain it.
Okay, Colonel, itong Typhoon missile launcher system, will it be left behind even after Balikatan? Will it stay in the Philippines?
Yeah, good question. Maybe you can ask me after the exercise.
Wala pa plano, Colonel. Okay, anything else?
Pero may negotiation, Colonel, para maiwan dito.
I answered that question.
Would you know?
Okay.
I answered that if I answer that question now, our potential competitors might also be listening, you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, I would rather you ask me again after the exercise is done.
Yes, sir. Sir, yung joint maritime sail sa Balikatan to the west of Palawan, may we know the parameters for the operation? I mean, what if, for example, China tries to do something, what are our working parameters?
Well, we have our SOP. We are bound by rules of engagement, and we are also bound by international law. Okay, so we are good boys. You know, we are the ones who are abiding by law-based international systems.
treaties.
You know,
Yes,
but
sir.
nonetheless, we are going there prepared.
Yes, sir. For example, sir, hypothetically, for example, kung binomba tayo ng tubig,
You know, those are hypothetical questions. Sasagutin ko yan. I believe the Navy already has plans, whatever it is. But, you know, I don't think we insult the intelligence of our adversaries. I don't think they'd be stupid enough to do that.
okay. Okay.
Okay, ano?
Okay.
Marami pa sana pwede tanong Colonel Loico, no? Pero we know you're very busy. We know this is a very important undertaking you're doing right now. So, Colonel Michael Loico, maraming salamat po sa oras nyo.
Executive Agent ng
Thank you,
Balikatan
Colonel.
2024.
Thank you very much. Pasensya na, I'm off to another meeting.
Thanks, sir.
Opo. Thank you.
That
So,
was nice of him to give us about a few minutes, right? For
At least hindi no ang
Hindi
sagot.
no.
No? You can ask me after. Diba?
Bok, for reference lang, ang sinasabi niyang pupuntahan is to the west of Palawan,
Right.
within our EEZ. Yan.
Beyond the territorial water, 12 kilometers, and
sakto yan,
within the EEZ.
yung disputed ng China's theirs
Yes.
daw. Ayungin is banda here. Ang Paez is over there. So, that's...
And dulo ng
outside the,
EEZ.
he defined this
Kasama siya.
outside the 12 nautical
Yeah.
miles
12 is here.
Yes.
territorial waters, and on the
With EEZ.
And up to
Within
the edge of the EEZ.
And on the edge of the EEZ.
So pasok yung
To the
Ayungin
edge. Kaya
area.
aabot siya. Aabot siya.
Actually,
Mga dito,
dito
dito
kumakalat-kalat yung
Ah,
yung
dito yan.
Chinese Coast Guard and militia.
Which
Yes.
from China's point of view is
Is
their
theirs.
territorial waters.
Territorial waters daw nila. Not their EEZ, but their territory.
So if they feel
Kaya,
so offended by our supply boats enough to assault them with water cannon, I wonder how they will respond with warships, French warships included, no, going into those waters.
Ayun ang ating aabangan.
Yeah, so I was trying to find out ano yung working parameters. I didn't want to say rules of engagement kasi engagement sounds already so aggressive. But, you know.
Pero malinaw yun, Ed. That tinanong mo, yung water cannon, ang sagot niya, I don't think they will be stupid enough to do that. Yan ang sagot niya.
Pero nga what are the rules of engagement? Kaya for example, if they try to
Yes.
maneuver dangerously close, that's what they sometimes tend to do gigit-gitin ka.
Tingnan
paano
natin kung
nila? Ang
gigit-gitin
dami-daming
nila yung
barko doon, paano hindi sila
mga barko ng
makakagit na
Amerikano at ng French. Dito, no?
Huwag natin pangunahin ang malalaman natin in the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Wait,
Yes.
I think we're supposed to go into gap. Yeah, you're watching Stoycon on One News. We just need to take a break. Please stay with us.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group. We've got the developing news and the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to Stoycon, the Story Conference. I'm Patrick Paez.
I'm Ed Lingao. Also with us, Philippine Star Editor-in-Chief Ami Pamintuan and One News anchor Gretchen Ho. Okay.
Eto, Bok, bumangka ka dito dahil ikaw...
Hinihintay mo.
Storya mo to.
Ami,
Storya mo
ito, maganda to, Ami, tingnan mo to.
Sige.
May natuklasan kaming YouTube channel kung saan may gera na sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at ng China.
Yan. Oo. Hindi lang to war games.
Yan o. Ang YouTube channel Dapat Balita. Hindi lang yan, ha? Kasi tingnan mo yung mga, hinulugan na ng bomba, tinira na yung China, actual video ng atake. Hindi lang yan.
Dear.
Meron pa silang dalawang storya kung saan apparently nag-deepfake sila ng boses ni BBM. Inaaway na ang China. Sample.
I already gave directives to our armed forces of the Philippines and special task groups to do the necessary actions
Dinig ba? Dinig?
within our territory.
Yes.
China still continue to commit unlawful activities against our countrymen. Nagbigay na po ako ng go signal sa ating mga kinatawag na gawin ang nararapat gawin kung sakaling umatake ulit ang pwersa ng China. Hindi ko na po mapapayagan pa na mas maraming Pilipino ang masaktan sa laban na ito. We cannot compromise even a single individual just to protect what is rightfully belongs to us. Kung umatake ang China, atakehin din nila. Mata sa mata, pangil sa pangil na ang labanan dito.
Mapapasabak tayo sa away nito. Yung problema, 127,000 subscribers.
Merong grammar pa.
Ed, kahit kailan hindi nagtaas ng boses yan si Bongbong, ha?
Kaya nga, but yun nga, there are at least two stories
Parang
here.
si Rodrigo Duterte at sumisigaw na yan.
There are at least two
Hindi
stories
niya
here
style yan.
where may ganong audio na ginamit
Yes.
appearing to be Bongbong Marcos ordering attacks.
Yes.
So it's actually all interesting. What's also fascinating about this is that okay, the name of the channel is Dapat Balita. It's not a new channel. If you look at it more closely, it was created in 2020. Ito yung original objective niya. Updates and news about SSS for pensioners. So apparently, 4 years ago, this was created about ayuda. Tapos last week, binura niya lahat ng video niya ng luma. Puro video niya. Now he has 12 videos about a war between China and the Philippines already.
Ayun. Pero alam mo,
Okay.
hindi natin masabi kung kasi may iba nagbebenta ng kanilang channel eh. So, hindi mo alam kung
Acquired.
what happened to the ownership of this,
Yeah. Another example, if you look at his Facebook page, Dapat Balita, tingnan mo yung URL nyo, facebook.com/ayuda sa PH. So, original talaga ayuda yung niya.
Kaya, yan ang problema ngayon, lalo ngayon, deepfakes, AI.
And the guy
Yan ang
has
problema natin
127,000 followers. Some of his
Yes.
videos about itong gera na to, may mga 80,000, 50,000 views already.
Well, nakikita natin yan madalas sa US, di ba? Sa mga balita nila. But it hits very close to us now that it's applied to the Philippine context and the Philippine situation of how this can be abused.
And,
One giveaway
Yes.
there is that yung pronunciation ng salitang pangil.
pangil sa pangil.
Pangil sa pangil. Ibig sa pangil. Pangil sa pangil. So this suggests that it's AI generated. We all know there's a lot of voice commands.
Pero ang problema, paano kung nilagay ito sa radyo? Yung boses lang sa radyo, hindi mo
Yes.
ma-distinguish kung totoo o deepfake.
Pero tama rin si Ami eh. Hindi na high blood
Nakistyle.
hindi na high blood si BBM, si PBBM pag
Yes.
magsalita, di ba?
Cool na cool yan eh.
Anyway, for that story, let's bring in the DICT, the Department of Information and Communications Technology. On the phone is spokesman Aboy Paraiso. Sir, Asik Aboy, welcome back to Storycon.
Hey, Sir Ed,
Good
Sir
afternoon.
Patrick, Ma'am Ami, Ma'am Gretchen. Nice to have you. Thank you for having me back here in your program.
Yes, sir. Sir, we don't know if you were able to
Hi.
hear the first part of the discussion. We're talking about a YouTube channel na in the last 7 days, biglang nag-iba ang anyo. Parang ano, di ba? Nag-ibang anyo. Parang makeover. Nag-ibang anyo and has been posting all sorts of video about a war already happening between China and the Philippines. Bombahan, Kanyunan, and may at least 2 video clips where they're using audio that purports to be that of the president ordering attacks against China.
Tama, Sir Ed. Yeah. You would imagine na parang bago po. Pero you would be surprised that this is a prevalent practice that, the owners of channels, the owners of Facebook pages would be sending their pages for, they would be hired to administer and put up contents for other people.
Well, sir, actually, I have basically two questions. Number one, isn't this a security concern? You're talking about the president on an issue about national security at a time when we're talking about potential crises in the West Philippine Sea and military exercises and all that. And number two, how do we prevent things like these from happening again?
Well, to answer the first part of your question, Sir Ed, yes, it definitely is a security concern. And in fact, we take cognizance of this particular issue. Hindi lang itong isolated incident na to, but in general, the use of AI and deepfakes when it comes to pieces of national security. And we're also cognizant of the fact that magagamit lang ito later on sa election to, promote candidates or para sirano yung ibang kandidato. And second, the second part of your question, what you are doing, ito namang mga deepfakes na to would not be proliferate for the help or the use of the platforms of several social media sites. So what we're doing right now, we're working with different platforms in order for us and them to develop certain community guidelines to prevent this. Hindi ko lang ma-divulge ngayon, pero a lot of them have responded well and they guidelines to prevent the use of AI and to tag certain AI para malaman nun natin. Yun lang talaga magagawa natin. We cannot really prevent because of certain rights na mag-put up ng content. Pero para malaman kung ano yung what's real and what's not.
Asek, diba, I understand it's quite easy to request YouTube or Google to take down these sites or these videos. Wouldn't it?
It's not. Sir Patrick, gusto rin mano natin yan din yung limit natin. Pero because these platforms are situated elsewhere, in the jurisdiction natin, wala tayong jurisdiction over them, what we do naman po is coordinate with them, makiusap po sa kanya. And thankfully for us, nagiging responsive naman sila. They are very willing partners of governments when it comes to the prevention of the proliferation of fake news and deepfake.
I'm just wondering also, Asek, whether the motivation behind of the people behind this obviously patently fake videos is it like disinformation, propaganda, or is it classic budol or scam? Kasi alam naman po natin na it's so patently mali eh. Pero with every click, with every view, they probably get to monetize these videos.
So, it's both. Yeah, one is before talaga budol lang to, the proliferation of scam, yung para in fact, yung AI ay ma-deepfake ginagamit ito para mag-endorse ng mga other products. Yung mga celebrities, mga personalities, mga influencers, so even mga newscasters, so nagagamit yung imagery nyo, tsaka mga bosses nyo to endorse to various products before. Pero ngayon, kailangan nun natin matanggap na this is the day and age na ang AI at ang deepfake gagamitin na lang for more nefarious purposes. For example, yan pag-manipulate ng election, ito warmongering na to, para mag-stow ng galit sa ating gobyerno.
So, Asek,
yung recent trilateral summit in Washington, yung cybersecurity was one of the topics discussed. At meron mga agreements, can you tell us more about it? Anong progress nun? What can we expect from that? Dahil meron daw mga agreement, and I think may representative ng DICT doon.
Tama ho, Ma'am Ami. This is a very important issue na mismo kay Secretary Ivan Uy at ang ating cybersecurity, si Yusek Jeffrey Ian ang umattend nun.
Yes.
Chief of the agreement and many of those agreements were talagang nakasentro sa cybersecurity. Pero naman, magandang balita naman nung doon, maramihan sa mga issues na yun, na-address ko ng National Cybersecurity Plan na pinirmano ng ating Pangulo last year. So, for implementation na una to. So, we are one with the national community when it comes to yung improving each other's cybersecurity postures. Tapos, magtutulungan ho tayo ng mga kaalyado natin para malaman yung mga attribution at mga patterns and tendencies ng mga threat actors natin when it comes to not only the cybersecurity problem but also yung deepfake problem ho natin.
Last year, ang sabi sa amin ni Ambassador to the US, Baybram Waldes, most of our critical infrastructure are seriously compromised sa cyber. Anong status nila ngayon?
Totoohanan ho yan. Kasi nga before we came in ang procurement, hindi ho natin masyadong nabigyan ng importansya yung cybersecurity. Much less yung digitalization natin. Kasi ang nangyari nung naging dependent tayo sa internet, nung natin na-realize na manhinaw pala yung mga sistema na procure natin before. In fact, and ako naman hindi ko naman masisi being a person in government myself. May mga challenges mo talaga tayo. For example, yung budgetary challenge mo natin, yung manpower challenges mo natin. But again, we in the DICT have set forth policies and plans to improve our cybersecurity posture and our cybersecurity capabilities. So, hindi na ko sa DICT but the whole of government po.
Okay, Asek, yung going back to yung tanong ni Sir Patrick, you've been in coordination with these platforms to take the pages down. So, does that mean that that we're just waiting for these pages to be taken down? And what protection do we have? Kasi gaya nga po na nasabi ninyo, dumadami na yung deepfake na videos. It's not just when it comes to national issues, but also yung mga celebrity endorsers, newscasters, personalities. What protection do we have in case it happens? Anong gagawin namin?
Tatanong nyo kung it's a matter of report this. And kung it's only a matter of time before these videos and channels be taken down, kailangan natin include na we have to comply with their internal rules kasi nga wala tayong jurisdiction over them. That's the primary problem with this particular scenario. That it's more of a partnership rather than us regulating them. Second, when it comes to ano kung magagawa nila, yung mga celebrities na katulad dito, ako naman confident ako sa pakikipag-usap natin sa mga platforms na to that they are developing their own policies in order to be tailor-fitted to address these particular challenges. At pagdating naman sa pag-reporting natin, I think they're expediting talaga doon at talagang apparent, blatant, deepfake na nako-compromise yung integrity ng mga influencers at celebrities natin.
Gaano po dali na gawin ito? Kasi parang dati pag nakikita ko siguro medyo komplikado naman, baka hindi naman natin matutunan yan. Pero dumating na dito. Parang may nakita kasi ako nagrereklamo, actually si Doc Dex yun, yung isa. Parang sabi niya, hindi ako ito, pero ginawa, nag-shoot siya, parang yung boses niya, pinalitan yung content no sinasabi niya, yung video niya. I mean, how easy is it now to be able to do these AI deepfakes?
I think about my conversation, especially with Meta, because they were our partners when we launched our MVP phase 1. We had a very long discussion, which includes itong particular problem na to. I think they tailor-fitted now their reportorial system na pag nag-report mo kayo, they would immediately address, parang may prioritization sila when it comes to, pag naghanap mo ng deepfakes tsaka yung mga fake news to. Especially if you are the owner of that image at kayo mismo ang nagre-reklamo, sasabihin nyo hindi kayo yan, they would really prioritize ito. But again, it's really a question that has to be lodged with the particular platforms po.
Pero sir, short of just waiting for these platforms to do a takedown, wala ba tayo iba pwedeng gawin? Like to go after, for example, Revised Penal Code, Article 154. Although I tend to be very careful about the use of this article, pero I think it falls under this. Article 154 Revised Penal Code. Any person who by any means of printing, lithography, or other publication shall publish or cause to be published as news any false news which may endanger the public order or cause damage to the interest and credit of the state will be liable.
Tama po, Sir Ed. It falls squarely within that provision of the penal code. And if ang problema ho dito attribution, no? Kasi the power of these people, the stress actors, the criminals, is the aspect of anonymity when it comes to the internet. Pag nagkaroon tayo ng proper attribution na pinpoint natin kung sino yan, then they would be can be held liable under various, hindi lang mo yung sinabi niyo, Sir Ed, various provisions of the
Cybercrime law,
the Revised Penal Code and others. Lalo na yung Cybersecurity Act po natin of 2012.
Okay. Ano ba? Okay, maraming salamat for joining us again. Asik Aboy Paraiso, spokesperson of DICT. Thank you, sir.
Magandang
Thank you,
burning up.
Asek.
Bok, may pakita lang sa inyo kung gaano kadali o gaano kahirap. Teka, ito na yan. Ito, hindi ko na pinakita yung website mismo. Pero this is senior Ferdinand Marcos AI voice.
Pakinggan nga natin, Bok.
Hindi maganda masyado siguro hindi masyado maganda yung I think you upload the voice sample and they will tinker with it So hindi masyado maganda yung yung speaking Yung singing pa siguro.
Wow!
Ang ano ko lang kinanta niya kasi, Bok, yung
Yung Adobe Beams.
Adobe Beams.
Yung sa speaking hindi masyadong But generally kasi how this works is that you upload that 5 to 10 minute clip and AI will
tweak it.
Will tweak it
Okay.
and you type in the text that you want to read.
So okay. You put in a text.
It's basically large language learning
So the more you use it, the more it learns. Basically.
Is this free?
I haven't uploaded anything, so I don't know if it's
Probably free because that's how they develop they make the app more or the software more intelligent.
Meron talagang about
more people
Ferdinand
using
Marcos
it.
Senior.
Ang galing.
Pero Ed, matagal na. Alam mo sa entertainment, matagal na rin ginagawa yan. Di ba yung mga patay ng mga entertainers, sinasama sa movies.
Yeah.
Nagjujuwet si
Nat
Natalie
King Cole with the
saka yung
daughter,
tatay niya.
Natalie Cole.
Yeah. Natalie Cole and the father, di ba? Matagal na yun. That was before the pandemic pa yun. Nag-ano lang siya, nagiging more sophisticated saka mas madali, nagiging
And more malicious this
user-friendly.
time. Kasi Nat King Cole and Natalie Cole, cute pa yun.
Yan na nga.
Ami, Gretchen. That's all the time we have. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for now. Maraming salamat, Ami Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star, and also Gretchen Ho, One News anchor. Thank you for being with us.
Mamaya, mag-abang
Thank
po kayo
you.
for more on The Big Story tonight, 8 p.m.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Patrick and Gretchen.
Thank you po. Join us again tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao.
I'm Patrick Paez. We are One News, all sides, all the time. This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.